We here on Keep It at the Buck50. We have guests here in the building. Would you like to call yourself? What's your name today?
My name is Jahara. Hi, guys.
uh, how you feeling though?
I'm good. I was nervous, but I'm not nervous no more, so it works.
How my podcast is like from the outside looking in, like I know of you, but I don't know you, so it's like a little interview to get to know you. I'm gonna be asking you questions about what makes Jahara Jahara.
Okay, sounds good.
You ever know anybody else with your name?
No, not really. I do, but they say like Jahira or people from social media that I've never met before, but or the lady that owns Beats and Bangles. Her name's Jahira, but she spells it like Jaira. But other than that, no.
That's fine. So growing up, how was like you like what age you was when you feel like you start remembering life?
Whew. I think to an extent, people remember trauma, right? You remember
Yeah.
trauma. You remember the bad. You remember good moments, but I think naturally as humans, we just remember trauma or we block trauma out. So I would say like I remember moments, happy moments. I remember memories, um, but for I trauma block. I think I remember more trauma than the happy things. So my trauma blocks out happy moments. I think in a way, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah.
So like saying that, like was you feel like you was raised off survival or was you raised off love?
Um, I think my mom did her best and tried to raise me off love until a certain extent, and then I just went into a survival mode. But my father, off rip, he was like, "I'd rather you love me. I mean, I'd rather you fear me than love me," and that's just because how he was raised. You know what I'm saying? So I think being the only girl in the household, I was definitely raised off of survival. Um, yeah, I was raised off survival.
How many siblings do you have?
My
Well,
mom.
I mean, not like, do you have any siblings?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I got a lot. My dad has 6 kids. My youngest sister on my dad's side is actually my son's age, and then my mom has 4 kids. Um, and her youngest is a senior in high school right now. So
like how like I don't know. Do you feel like you have a closer bond with your siblings that came out your mom?
no, I think growing up it was like that because that's all I knew, right? And then when I got with my dad's family, um, it was the same. Like my little brother 7, he's 7. Shot him on Facebook, Instagram. Me and him are really close growing up because it was just always me and him in the household. And then my sister on my mom's side, my older sister, we were really close. But I think as we grew up, we just all, figuring life out, figuring shit out. I'm definitely getting closer with my older sister on my dad's side. I'm just trying to repair relationships, figure it out for us, like not as just brothers and sisters, but actually being my friend and, figuring out what each other needs is more important. So,
No, that's true. Growing up, like, did you have like a lot of cousins and shit?
um, I feel like white people don't got a lot of cousins. So for like on my mom's side, it was just us. Like my mom had kids, then my aunts, and then like all my aunts' kids are my son's age. We all were pregnant at the same time, so it was like I don't really have cousins on my mom's side. My dad's side, we have cousins. I have cousins, and we all like hung out, did sleepovers and stuff together. But now it's so weird. Like I can't really remember.
Like no real family moments.
No, like we did
Like
stuff.
cousins,
Yeah,
like
we did
real.
stuff, and now that we're older, we definitely like we'll go out and have a drink and stuff. But like as kids, it was like my dad used to keep me busy. I used to play sports. He didn't play that shit. He did not want me in these streets. Like so, I was busy. I was always playing sports. I was always working. So, but yeah, I didn't really have that type of
What
childhood.
school you went to?
So I went to Geneva, then I went to 29 school, then I went to 3 school, then I went to Edison, and then I went to Gates, and then I graduated from Geneva
Oh, you went back. You started in Geneva, then
and went
ended in
back. Yeah, because I was pregnant with my son, so I went back, and I didn't want nobody to know. So I went back to Geneva.
That's like how was school for you? Like did school shape you to be the person you is now?
um, I think I've always had a mouth on me, right? So my mom always tell me I talk back a lot. So my mouth always was an issue, but when I moved to Rochester, it humbled me because obviously it was different. People used to pull my hair. People used to pick on me. Um, it was a thing like in Geneva, like it was like I played sports, so I could hang out with boys, I could sit at the table with the dudes. When I came here, oh, if you sitting with them, you like them. So I didn't know who dated who. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to 29 school, it was different. I lived right across the street. I lived on Kenwood. I'm a West Side kid, of course. But yeah, I don't know. 29 school was cool. It was like I really didn't like the school. 3 school was different. It was more like different classes, but it was more like different. People were fighting and stuff. My dad used to wait in the principal's office every day for me to fight, and I would not fight. I would just not fight. It was never. It wasn't in me as a kid. It wasn't in me. Until I just got tired of getting picked on, and I ended up fighting my best friend at the time. Went to Edison. It was so much different. Like I feel like everybody grew out of that like fighting and catty shit, and then we were all cool. And I was playing sports. I played sports. We developed our own group of friends. We were friends with different people. And then I met my baby dad at the time, and then eventually I left Edison. I went to Gates my junior year, and then I went to Geneva my senior year.
What sports did you play in high school?
Basketball, softball, and volleyball.
You was nice, like you was the star player.
When I went to Gates, they like eat, breathe, and sleep sports like basketball. I played with Sierra Dillard, Corey. They were like, you could see Sierra Dillard now. She plays overseas. She's great. So I think that just was a whole different experience for me. But in Edison, I played, and I feel like I was good, but I could always been better. Like I think that's why I'm so hard on my son. But softball and volleyball I pitched in softball. That was my sport. That was my favorite sport.
That's why you said your dad had you into sports.
Yeah, I couldn't. He didn't play growing up. He was very hard. But now that I see how women are now, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, how they turned out, or if I would have stayed in a smaller town and I see, no shade, but like how the women turned out, they have a lot of kids, or they're not doing anything, or they're just confined to that space, like no sense of direction or no sense of like goals, or not goal driven. And that could be anywhere, but I feel like it is really starting with your upbringing, and some things my dad implemented to me as a child really stuck with me as a woman. So yeah, I could get lowered in the sea. I had to come home, play the piano for an hour, play the guitar for an hour. I was in the sports every season. If I wasn't in sports, I was at the YMCA practicing. He had me at the club playing biddy. Yeah, he didn't play. He didn't play.
How you feel like, so you felt like he was trying to like just keep you away from the streets and shit?
I feel like he tells me now, because it's so funny, like he tells me now, like he always knew he never had to worry about me. Like he always knew I was a hustler. He like I was so much of him and him. Like I had so much of him and me that he never had to worry. And I was like, you used to do too much. Like now I'd be like, you did too much. I didn't even have a childhood. And he'd be like, because I wanted you to be great. I wanted you to do this. I wanted you to do that. But I think when parents push you to do opposite, you're gonna always rebel and do extra. Because if you was just a little bit lenient, I probably wouldn't have had a son so young. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't want me to date him, so I'm like, you don't want me to date him, so I'm gonna date him, or I'm gonna deal with him, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like parents at that age, when he didn't let me really go outside. They used to tell me I couldn't get off the porch. It's so funny hearing stories from like dudes from around the way. They'd be like, you was the girl that couldn't get off the porch. I'm like, but then he'll let me have a house party. You know what I'm saying? It'd be weird. Like, as long as he could regulate and see everything that's going on, he was cool. But if he was out of sight, we couldn't go nowhere. We had to be on that porch.
So you spent like majority of your childhood like with your dad?
Yeah, I think after 6th grade. My mom was in an abusive relationship growing up. So in 6th grade, CPS like kind of removed us out the home. She got my other brothers and sisters back, but then I was already here. So it was like, my dad was like, I ain't going back. Because I'm the only child they got together. So I just stayed, and I figured it out.
So you so having your dad in your life that like put a spin, so you really never like the street niggas, or
what? Street? No. I feel like how can I put this? Not like street niggas. I mean, because I lived right on Kenwood. So what at that time, who was over there? Chi-Li right there. Never talked to somebody from Chi-Li, but I'm just saying. Chi-Li was right there. At the time, Kirkland, that's where everybody from Ford used to be. Then 2 streets over, Frost was right there. So it was just all, but my cousin and them was older. So my cousin used to be over on Frost all the time. So people knew who I was, but once again, that's me and daughter, or that's Missy niece, or you know what I'm saying? She a Duval. But it was just like I was never fast in the ass. I was never like grown. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never. It was always like respect. People see me if I walk to the store, they'll try to speak to me, but that's as far as it would go.
What age you feel like you had your first boyfriend?
Um, my first boyfriend. I had a crush when I used to cheer for the South Side Cyclones. He was my boyfriend, but I mean that didn't really go nowhere. I feel like my real boyfriend was my son's father. He passed away in 2017. But yeah, that was my first love.
How could you like? What made you like? How that went for you? Like falling in love.
Um, I think I didn't realize I was in love until after I had my son. You know, because you as kids you just having fun. You just you know what I'm saying? Like we were sneaking to see each other at the park, or when I could have a boyfriend, he was coming over, we sitting on the couch and my dad was on the couch across from us, or like so I feel like when I was in love was after I had my son and I was really going through shit that was popping up from childhood, like trauma, and I was dealing with it because I have a child now. Like it's time to like have these conversations, even though the conversations weren't really going anywhere. He was just with me, like through it all. Like I can't explain it. Like you ever had somebody love you that just love you, never judged you, like you're bad, you're ugly, you're whatever. They loved you through it all and they never judged you. We done did some bullshit together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we grew up together. I was 14 when I met him, and he died when I was what? We broke up when I turned 20. So we were in each other's life for a very long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all
So,
grew up together.
and I think I fell in love when you realize somebody loves you and they don't judge you. When they seen the ugly, the good, the bad, the happy moments, like, and I'm a pusher. Like as a Capricorn, I'm aggressively and I'm like I'm naturally a provider. You know what I'm saying? And some men don't like that, but he also didn't know that. He didn't know what he didn't like or did like at that damn age. So I think a lot of it why we didn't work out is to this day I'm still the same way. I'm a pusher. I always pay attention to time, and I'm like, okay, we got this time, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to have a house, and he wasn't ready for that. We were young, you know what I'm saying, and I had my first apartment, I had my house, you know, I was doing shit. I was in nursing school at the time, so it was just like, I think that's what ran him away. I used to take care of him, and at one point we had our son. It's like I'm done taking care of you. So then he stayed in Geneva. He met somebody that was doing the same thing, you know, coddling him, allowing him to do certain things. But he wasn't like I was a hustler. He wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he was very spoiled growing up. His mom's only child. So I feel like when you're a hustler and you're not with somebody that's equally yoked in certain areas, it just doesn't work because then eventually you're gonna get tired of doing certain shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I had a son. I'm going to school. I'm working. I'm doing too much at such a young age. It's just like okay, and then you're gonna leave me for a white girl? Yeah, no. So it just he ended up staying in Geneva and I ended up moving to Rochester. And then he ended up passing away out there.
But like how things go, you know, like you say you was like planning and rushing shit. You wanted to get married like on some young shit.
No, not married. I think it was just like I was so big on like, damn, we have a kid, so we got to do this before this age, and we got to do this before this age. You know what I'm saying? And it was to the point I was doing it so fast, I wasn't even enjoying life. Like I be thinking now that I have a daughter, I look back and be like, damn, I don't remember my son's first birthday. I don't remember this. I don't remember that because I was such in a rush to just make sure everything was good, not knowing like, tell God your plan, he will laugh, and that's so true. Like I see it more than ever now that I'm an adult, like older, but no, like I just don't remember. And I remember at his funeral, I was saying like, time, time. That's all I kept saying. I was crying because I'm like, time, like you as people period we rush. We're in a rush for what? I don't know. We're such in a rush we never get to enjoy the moment. Like we never get to enjoy what's in front of us, like just touching, feeling, taking in, or whatever it is. We never get to just literally enjoy it. And I think that's the biggest thing I regret is just rushing somebody to do something they were never ready to do, to the point I never got to enjoy certain things.
Yeah, like
So
how was that for you? Cause like even with life, like you probably thought like he gonna get his shit together. You spin back, get together, cause
right.
like this my true love, and it's like, and it's like they just like pass away and shit, and you like you say like I just met you, and it's like now you just die, and it's like you gotta live with that. Like did that have you looking at death different? Like
That was the first death I've ever dealt with. Like real and it's so crazy because like when I say trauma, like you really remember trauma to the T. Like I remember the phone call, I remember what I was doing, I remember everything to that point. You know what I'm saying? In that point in my life, me and him obviously weren't together anymore. Um, I was in a relationship that wasn't very healthy for me or the person that I was in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? And I think that whole day transpired. It was so crazy because my son was supposed to be with him, but he never. Me and the person got in an argument. So I was like, I'm not driving out there. So my son never even made it out there. The next morning, I'm getting a call, and I was just like, like just the whole situation. When I look back, it was just like, I don't know. Like I used to blame myself. I used to like, oh, he should have just left from Geneva. But at the end of the day, like it's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny because I talk to people all the time. Like people watching this are gonna be like, yep. Because like when I see people die and I see how it affects people, like grief, like that shit. People try to put a time limit on grief. You could be good today, partying tomorrow, but the next day you can be flat on your ass. Like grief is no. I can't even explain how I felt because it was like I was at a very long stop sign for a very long time. Like I tried to commit suicide. I couldn't even be around my son. He looked just like his dad, so I couldn't be around him. Like then I was like doing protests every Friday. I was drinking really bad because I never used to come outside before he passed away. I always used to be a house person. Um, I became friends with people I used to be friends with. Me and them became really close best friends. So they really helped me through that process of grief. But like just going out drinking and it felt like I was just sitting here standing in the whole world. Like you ever watch a movie and you see them sitting there and then like the world fast forwards. That's how it felt. Um, and I feel like that's something you just got to go through alone. Like nobody understands your pain. Nobody understands what you're going through mentally. But God, like I feel like I didn't know God, didn't have a relationship with God, and I feel like that kind of helped me. But I'm still learning. I'm still grieving. I'm still learning how to deal with it because yes, I might be over it, but me and his mom have a really good relationship. That's like my mom. So just seeing like, I had another child and like that was her only son. So now my child is her granddaughter. Like but just seeing things that she's never gonna be able to experience. She's not gonna be able to see her son walk down the aisle or my son constantly is going through things if they're having a father Sunday at school or a dad brunch. You know what I'm saying? Like it's constant. It's like a revolving door. You're constantly dealing with something. You got to figure it out. And nobody told me how to deal with that shit. Nobody told me how to deal with that or prepare life like that. Like as a mom, you want to protect your kid from anything. And I feel like that's one thing in the world I just didn't know how to do. So I shut out and I just tried to fight a battle I couldn't win. And I think it drained me more than it helped me. So it made my grieving process way longer than it was supposed to be.
Yeah, because like when you be in denial and don't want, because us as humans, we could low key be delusional,
Ooh, delusional as hell.
and it's like you only dogging yourself out there. Did you introduce him to Geneva?
My baby dad?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, let me call him Joanne, not my baby dad. Joanne. Yeah, I grew up out there, so we used to go out there on the weekends. Then we had our first apartment out there. Like, and if you know Geneva, like, small towns, period. Wayne County, Finger Lakes, all that. That's like they're get money towns. Like people going there and get like obviously that's not what we were out there for, but they're like towns. So I feel like people get sucked in to those areas, especially because it's no. They have one of everything. They have a Wegmans, they have a Walmart, they got a Denny's, they got a McDonald's. Then they got food like pizza spots, and then they got bars, sports bars, and that's it. It's in a hospital in a doctor's office. It's no bigger than that. They don't have. Do they even have bowling? They don't got bowling. They don't got skating. They don't got shit. And they got a YMCA. Like it's nothing there. And I feel like he just got sucked into or content with a small life. Because the city's bigger. Like it's different. I feel like Geneva was so easy. Like you can go there, stack your money, and leave, or go there and get a job and leave. The rent used to be cheap back in the day. Like I was paying like $635 for a 2-bedroom at the time. So you know what I'm saying. So it was like it's good to get on your feet, or it's small enough to have peace. But I feel like when you get to a certain age, you chase different things. So it's only there for all my family still lives there. So like for the holidays, I could go down there and celebrate. But
Being from like the west side, you feel like you from the west side, right?
I grew up on the west side. I ain't gonna say I'm from the well. I don't represent like I'm from the west
Yeah,
side, but
yeah.
I'm a west side kid.
What's some traits you feel like you got from the west?
I don't really think I have any traits. I don't really think I have any traits. Mm-mm. No.
So like, what's some things in life that you got like good advice on, like that you've been through that you overcame and conquered, and now you could look back and drop jewels on it.
Whew. Um, I feel like whatever I went through in life, I'm still going through. I don't feel like I'm 100% healed. I will lie and say that. I'm still constantly dealing with shit from my past as a mother, as a friend. Um, in a relationship, you're constantly being reminded of things, triggers, trauma, because people don't know your triggers. People don't know your trauma unless you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the best advice would just be deal with your shit. Deal with your shit. Because if you don't deal with your shit in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, the shit's still gonna be there.
Yeah, you gotta definitely like you gotta live like I'm learning that right now. Like you really gotta live. Right now. I'm living with all that playing around I did in my teenage years and early 20s, like you say. So if you want to play to now to 40, you really gonna have to still get your shit
Wait, so
together.
do you feel like you're playing catch up?
Nah, I ain't playing catch up. It's just like when I, like it is playing catch up, but it's not because there's no fucking timetable on this shit. But I feel like I could have been getting my license and shit, just getting jobs, working on credit, just shit like that. Feel me?
But do you feel like people taught you those things? Did people teach you about credit? Did
Nah.
people? So we didn't even have the tools. So who said it's a time? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the
it ain't
time
no
limit.
time limit, but at the same time, it's like now I'm older. You know how it be like you like when I turn 21, when I turn 25, by 30 I'ma have this. But you don't just know
You need credit. You
like
need
yeah, like
this. You
all
need.
that like that dirty money, that shit really not nothing. That shit is cute, but it's really nothing. Cause
That's why when you said like, what did you ask me in the beginning? You said something about street niggas. Like, I think every girl goes through a period where they're intrigued by that. But once you become a woman, like a grown ass woman with kids and real ass shit going on, like that shit ain't cute. Like a nigga in the streets, it don't end well. We all, you know what I'm saying? We all know that. I feel like at some point, like I don't want no man in the streets. I want a man. I'd rather have a man in 9 to 5 at this point in my life. Like a man that's gonna hustle with me, work. We gonna build businesses. We gonna do what we gotta do because people are dying.
yeah,
Like people are fucking dying for less, for nothing. Like for nothing arguments. They could be bagging some shit up, dying. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just really dying out here, and I just feel like already experiencing that at such a young age with a child, I'd be damned. I'd be damned.
yeah. Hold on, yo, hold on, bro. But yeah, with like street niggas, it's like every street nigga now lost. Like they be needing that right female, cause a lot of females is burnt out and intrigued by the shit. Feel me? So it be what you attract, but the shit really is like a Russian roulette game. But you gotta take risk in life, like
I'm not risking
so
my
you.
life with no grown ass man at 40 being in nobody's streets. Like I just feel like I've never been like obviously I've dated or talked to niggas in the streets, but I've never been the person like I want this, I want that. Like anything I have or have in life, I've either purchased myself or I feel like the person you're dealing with in a relationship with, they know what you like or inquire, but it's not always about, for example, today, designer, right? Like like no, like what we're grown as adults. Like obviously we like nice shit and we want to travel. I'd rather travel the world or do other things. But I'm me personally. I'm a ride. I'm not dying. Bottom fucking line. I'm just not. I'm not doing it. I have kids. I'm not waiting no bid out. I don't care. I'm just that's not who I am. I tried all that in my younger years. I'm not doing no bid with no grown ass man because guess what? You know what the fuck you was doing. Like you
But hold on. If it's not your, if it's your, cause you you said you not dealing with no nigga that's 40 in the streets. You know females be dogging. What's 40 to you? Cause
no
y'all over
40
exaggerate.
40
Like
40
so,
like for example
35 not 40 to you.
Listen, I'm 30. I'm
Uh,
about to be 29, but I'm pushing 30. I feel like no man that's established, if I don't got my shit together, if I don't have my own house, if I don't have a car, if I don't have life insurance, if my kids don't have a college fund set up, if I don't have a emergency savings, like, men should ask these questions. You know how they were talking about high value men, high value women? There's an extent to what I believe in those
talking to Mike,
things.
so they
Oh,
can
sorry.
hear you.
There's an extent of what I feel about those things, like a high valued man, right? There could be a man that's 40, right? And at a peak of his life where he's transitioning out the streets, like he has the money, he's getting his business shit together, but he doesn't really know business stuff. He's, learning how to do that. Cool, by all means. But what I say, I'm not going to go out and seek a man that I know is knowingly in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like knowingly doing the things he's doing, traveling or got houses or like I'm just not doing that. Like that's not something that I want for not only me but my kids because the man that I bring in my life that's going to be in my life, I'm at this point I'm dating to be married or I'm dating for longevity. Like I'm not dating just to date because it looks good. Like no, I'm not doing that. I have a daughter. I feel like when I had a son, I dated and I've made mistakes for men and I let him not even let him see things, but I feel like I wouldn't want my son to be like them niggas, like at all. You know what I'm saying? So now that I look back and it's like when I've said like on social media, like my son has to heal from me because he's seen me cry. You know what I'm saying? He's seen me be in situations that weren't always the best. You know what I'm saying? Like so I feel like now that I'm a grown woman and I have a daughter, there's just certain things I will never tolerate that I've tolerated previously or I've seen my mom go through or my friends or my sisters or whatever or that I previously dealt with. Like I just feel like at this age, men and women should be dating with a purpose. Like, you're not going to want to date no woman that has less than you, no matter how good she looks. You know what I'm saying? You have to be bringing something to the table. I'm not saying you got to be a millionaire and have it all figured out, but I'm saying, okay, if you don't want to be in the streets anymore and you're trying to do business thing, what else are you going to do to generate income? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to go get a trade? Or are you going to, what's your plans? What's your goals? I'm not saying, oh, I'm just not going to be interested. But what I'm
You
saying is,
feel like so you 50-50. You going half on the bills.
yeah, yeah, I don't, see, I don't mind, for example, like say I'm in school full time and I can't work. I expect my other half to be able to hold down the fort. You know what I'm saying? Like I come home, cook, and I make sure things are good, but I expect him to be paying the bills, or vice versa. If he's doing what he got to do, I don't mind paying the bills. I don't mind doing it all. You know what I'm saying? But I think you have to know your person, and it has to be equally yoked. I can't be working, going to school, taking care of the kids, and cooking, and expecting me to cater to you, and you're not doing nothing. You're depleting me. I can't be in a relationship where I'm being depleted. But I could be in a relationship where we're both slowly filling each other's cup. I don't mind doing that. But I'm not going to start off doing that. You know what I'm saying? I have to be in a relationship with somebody we're both doing good and something might transpire and we're filling it up gradually. But I'm not about to go into a relationship where I have to constantly fill somebody's cup. No, I'm not doing that.
Nah, that's understandable. So in life, like you wanted to be like a motivational speaker. Like,
That's the goal. I really want to not I really want to. I'm coming out with a podcast in the new year. Um Eventually I want to do panels. I want to do podcasts like at a larger scale. Like, like B Simone and Megan, they had a Know For Sure podcast and they did like in front of people. I want to do something like that. I would be definitely interested in doing something like that. Um, but I think a motivational speaker will come more of all when I feel like I've hit my peak of healing or I've hit my peak of like literally going through something and understanding the coming out on the other side. Like I don't want to go up there and be a motivational speaker and still not healed myself or really have done fully seen through the work. So I do my videos now and I know my videos help people. Shit, sometimes I do them to help me. But so many people write me. I used to do something on Clubhouse when Clubhouse was a thing during COVID. And people used to come on there all the time and just cry, tell me their stories, men and women. And we'll just have conversations for hours. And it got so, like, heavy. Like, it was just so much. Like, I'm going through shit and then I'm taking on everybody else's problem. So it was a lot. So I stopped that. But then when I just do little small videos, I get so much good feedback. But like I was telling you, like, I'm nervous to, sit down and talk. Like, I don't know
you
why.
doing good though. You flowing good. Like you really talking good. Like I can see your podcast popping. Like you know how to talk. You talking with a purpose. But you feel like people understand because like you really be talking from the heart.
Yeah, I think being vulnerable. Like, I think pastors, motivational speakers, people with podcasts, period. Like, you have to have a purpose. Like, people are not going to believe you if you're just talking about something you never went through. How can I tell you it's going to be okay if I never went, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never went through nothing similar, or I didn't struggle, or like, nowadays, everybody act like they don't struggle. Everybody act like they don't get cheated on. Everybody act like they're perfect. Like, no, I've been cheated on. I've been hurt. I've been in an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've watched shit. Life happened.
You got like a nigga gave you a black eye before?
Never, 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 never. Say it louder. Never. No, hell no.
You just got smacked up, choked up. Or
I
something.
think so. I think people also think abuse is like physical all the time. It's not. It's mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be in an abusive relationship and you might not even know it. If a female's constantly talking to you any kind of way, disrespecting you, that's abusive. That's mental abuse. But like, I think now we live in a world where everybody's so perfect, everybody's so rich, everybody's just so above thee.
But that's because everybody be on our phones, and that's what it's about. Everybody showing the beauty of it on your phone. Everybody trying to act. But we all know people just like people know us. Motherfuckers really be going through it in real life.
This year alone, I know it was kicking people's ass. It kicked the fuck out of me. The year before that the last 4 years kicked my ass. Let me say that, because it just did. Life is hard, and I just feel like speaking and talking and having conversations with people, I want them to know it's okay to show it's not okay. Because I might have saved somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? You never know what people are going through, and suicide rates are going up. You know, like, it's going up, and that's just the reality of the situation. Like, people need people. People, like I said, people tell you to go to therapy, but what about when you walk out that room? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be prepared to heal, but you also have to have a village to help you heal. You know what I'm saying?
You feel like you got a nice little village?
I feel like I'm creating one. I feel like my favorite word is, I don't need you, I don't need nobody, fuck y'all. Like, that's that. And I will not speak to nobody and let it fester and just be what it is. But I'm also learning to say, like, I need help. You know, like,
you'd be like, your ego take over?
I think, yeah, like my pride, or people turning me down. You know what I'm saying? I hate that, especially because I feel like if I'm asking you for help, it's because I really need it. Like, especially when I was pregnant, I went through the worst pregnancy ever, just mentally, and it was a lot. Like, your village also takes on a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I had a really great village during my pregnancy, but it also was draining for people. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I've also lost people along the way, and I'm also grieving friendships, or, you know, like, relationships I've lost during the way, because sometimes your shit is too heavy for other people because they're going through their own shit. But I feel like you need a village, and I feel like my kids' grandparents, they are, like, beyond amazing. They are, like, I don't know what I would do without them, but that's the start of my village. But I do have friends. I'm gaining new friends. I have cousins. I have family. I have people that are in Atlanta. Like, I just have a village, and I'm really starting to learn it's not always about you. You have to be able to put out as well as receive. And I think I can be a very selfish person. And I think I'm learning that. And I'm just,
you know where you learned your selfish ways from?
People, when a lot of people keep saying the same shit, it's some truth to it. You know, because I'm like, I'm not selfish. And I'll be like, damn, that was fucking... And when I look back and the same two people that love me the most, like, love me a lot, were saying, like, you're selfish, I'm like, damn, I am selfish. And I had to apologize, like, damn, I'm sorry. Because sometimes when I'm going through shit, I don't give a fuck about nobody else. It's about me and my shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's wrong to be like that when people love you and they're here for you. But same time, you might be going through shit, your friend might be going through shit, or your family might be going through shit. But,
yeah, that's what be like, because, like, being on Facebook, IG and shit, like, you would see people crying out for help, and then you would just see them the next day with a group of people. But they can't even talk to them people and let them people really know they only kicking it because they about to get drunk and shit. And it's like,
I feel like you have friends for a season. You have friends for different situations. I feel like when I was grieving, I had friends that I would go out with, drink with, and I felt like they helped me speed up the process a little bit. But it was like a Band-Aid, because I never really dealt with the issue. Like, I had friends I can go out with, but then I had friends I could pray with. But then I had friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this season in my life and moving forward, and I always say as a mother, because that's the most important job in my life, as a mother and as a woman of me. Like, I want to have a better relationship with God, and I really want to be intentional.
When the last time you went to church?
The Sunday before last.
How was church like?
My son is like on me. Whew, he be calling me like, "Mom, are you coming to church?" I'm like, "Yeah." But when I went, I needed to go. You know what I'm saying?
You be listening.
Yeah, I do be listening. So the last time I went to church, I didn't feel like the word was for me. And I'm going to say that. But the time before that, he was just like, he came up to me. And I was crying. You know, like, I feel like when you're really touched and, like, God is speaking directly to you, I feel like you cry and you go through your emotions. I don't really know why you cry, but I'm still learning. But
You have got the Holy Ghost?
no, I don't, you know what it is? I don't like going to churches when people do that. And that sounds so judgmental, but I don't. I don't like that. Sorry for people that do get the Holy Ghost, but that's something I don't prefer to go to churches like that. But I feel like the pastor came down and talked to me. He just was like, "Your sad days are almost over." And I was like, damn, because I felt like this year was hard, shit. And for him to say that, it was just like, you don't even know me, but you know me. Because, yes, thank you.
You don't feel like that was just like that was anything to say. I know he touched you and said it, but it's like that's what he gotta do, be in there just saying hype shit.
No, I don't, because I just feel like that was my first time there. And even just the message overall, just like, he was saying something about, before, because church was over when he came to me and introduced himself or whatever. But he was just saying something about, like, I can't even remember to a T, but it was more overall like holding the weight of others. Like, you know, feeling depleted, like just feeling drained and just feeling depleted, and understanding like overall your purpose and understanding that it's okay to ask for help. Like, you know, basically everything I was saying in a nutshell. Like, and then when he said the sad days is over, I just feel like I constantly let certain people in my life deplete me and change who I am as a person. Like, no matter how people treat you, you should never change who you are as a person. And I feel like I've been in situations or relationships, friendships, or even like relationships with my parents, and I feel like that has changed how I alter who I am. And that's a problem. So, like, when I say moving with a purpose or walking into the new year with a purpose, or even in my last year of my 20s, it's just like finding who I am as a person, like as a woman, like knowing my purpose, know who I am to the core, to the point, like, no matter what I come in contact with, no matter the relationships I have, no matter how anybody deals with me or treats me, I'm still who I'm going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with grieving, just life, relationships, friendships, and just shaping in life, like, I lost who I was along the way.
Yeah. So. Like, now you feel like you can look in that mirror?
I feel like, yeah, there's days I can't. You know what I'm saying? There's days it's definitely like, okay, you're pretty, but let's wipe the makeup off. Let's do, you know what I'm saying? Your hair not done. Like, who are you to the core? Like, the shit, I have things on my mirror, and my son had the same thing. But I actually took them off, but it was just like things I wanted to work on. But when I looked at it, it was just like a house, credit, da-da-da-da. It was never like, you know, you need to heal this relationship. Have this conversation with your mom. Repair these relationships with these friends. Even if it doesn't work, have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? So when it was just all like stuff that meant something, but it wasn't going to fix the problem. Learning to forgive, like forgiving myself and forgiving others. Like, that's the number one thing I think that stops people from growing, is learning how to like truly forgive. And I think that's something I'm learning how to do, forgive. And just really, like, you know, knowing who I am. That's like my main thing. Like, I know what I want to do in life. I know where I want to go in life, but I just know, like, being shy. Like, I was shy to come up here to just be vulnerable and talk and have conversations. When I post like, I do videos like 30 times before I post them, because I'm scared of what people's going to say, or, you know, like, just not caring what the fuck the world thinks about me and my truth, my life. This is me. The only people that matter are my kids.
Yeah, like, what you scared of? Like, what it be?
Because I know me, I be on Shade Room talking shit under them comments. Like, so it's just like, imagine somebody doing that to you.
But it's just like the person, that's why I say you gotta be you. Because even if you talking shit, but it's just easy to be that person that's talking that shit. Like, you got shit going on, but the average person that's talking shit on the Shade Room, they hate theyself. They just got on their phone. They could just get a message out there, and it's like, you is who you is at the end of the day.
Right.
Like, you a mother, feel me, and you gotta take you and live with you. So it's like, why not be yourself? And you know that, like, it's in the pun. You look at your videos, you really touch people. You said you had a group in the clubhouse and shit. So it's like, people need you. That's low key why I even have a podcast, because I used to just go live. I talk shit on the internet all the time, and people used to say, "You really need a podcast." And I know I could talk to people, and it's like help them get their story out. And it's like life, like you, I feel like you got that shit in you though, and it's like you
Thank
can't
you.
be scared of yourself, because like you said, you were scared to come up here, and it's like you
And I was
doing
like, "Who
good. I
should I
get
leave?" Oh my god! Like I was nervous just because like it's first of all just having a one-on-one conversation for first of all it's different from like being on live and just talking because you're looking at yourself. I can't see my face. I can't see my face expressions. I can't see the way I look. It's just having a conversation. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to get into public speaking and stuff like that. But like overall, just getting my shit in order, like doing like not being scared. Like I've been saying this podcast thing forever. Like, but it's
you.
just like
Do you feel like females be scared to trust their beauty?
I think that's the thing. Like I don't want to walk in rooms or be able to have a conversation with people because of how I look. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm pretty. Like I could have but there's gonna be days on my podcast I'm gonna have a bun on because guess what? Life gonna be kicking my ass that day, but I still gotta come produce and give what you know what I'm saying? Like I have to do that. Like there's days you probably don't want to be up here, but you already booked an appointment, you already had a guest, so it's like fuck it, and I gotta come talk.
Yeah.
There might be days you don't want to do the shit, but you're here.
It's days that, like you say, I like if you watch any of my episodes or if you go back and watch them, you will see it's days I did 4 episodes in the same outfit just because that's how I'm living. Like my message deeper than what the fuck I got on, but because this my last month in my fucking 20s. So I'm about to
You
be
about
in
to be
my
30.
30s. So it's like
Woo!
I gotta start coming like a grown man and stop playing around. But like it be the grind. Like the message is heavier than I can have a whole Louis outfit on. But if I'm up here talking bullshit or saying corny weird shit with no substance, it's whack. And if I got on a whole bum ass outfit, but the shit I'm kicking is like gold, that shit forever.
This is the surface though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the surface. The shit we say, how we're speaking, how we interact, how you make me feel or how I make you feel, that's forever. And I
Yeah.
think people get stuck on just because I'm on here with a suit on, with a Louis Vuitton bag and my hair down and my lashes look good and okay, you only see the surface. But now what if I walk out this door and this nigga about to whip my ass because you know what I'm saying? Because he don't
Yeah.
like something I said. Like that's the world we live in right now. Like no, this is what you getting because listen, I was grocery shopping, I was Christmas shopping, my daughter was crying. Like yeah, I had to hurry up and get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if people stop focusing on what it looks like and what it really is, they'll get more out of it.
Yeah, the world would be a better place, but that's how the book sell by the cute cover
Yeah, but I would rather beat up book
with that knowledge
because
of that.
9 times out of 10, if the book is beat up, that means it got some real shit in there and everybody done read it. You know what I'm saying? Versus a book with a hardcover and that looks good. Like, do you read?
Yeah, I read a lot.
Really? I need to read.
Yeah, I be reading,
Like I need to read. That's like a stress.
but it's like I don't know. Do you ever feel like during the year like you have same moods and you do certain shit around every year?
Um, I feel like going into the new year, I always be like, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. But I feel like this year, um, my I feel like naturally my body is shaking certain things, like consuming alcohol. I don't really like to drink like that anymore. Hookah, I don't really like to smoke hookah like that anymore. I feel like I keep praying like God, I want to, I want to walk in my purpose. I want to do certain things. So I feel like He's naturally shedding things and people from my life. Um, but also I feel like it comes with age too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, like you feel like certain things you about to hit a 30 is like a big age. You know, people like, what is it? 16, 18, 21, and 30 is like the big, and 50.
20, yeah, 25.
25, really? What did I
I
do?
don't know. People definitely, I don't know. I was hyped to turn 25, but I wasn't. But I was, because it's like, I be feeling like I be too advanced. So my 25 was really like my 30, because a lot of niggas don't
Make it to
grow
25.
up. Feel me? And it's like mentally, emotionally, just mad shit. So I feel like my 20s was beautiful, though. I learned so much. I've been through so much. I got tested. Feel me?
So one thing out of your 20s that you would take to your 30s, what would it be?
My ambition. I'm low key. I'm taking, cause how I am. I'm taking everything with me. Was shed and gonna shed, but how I am is like. But that's fucked up, cause you know how it be if it ain't broke, don't fix. But at the same time, you gotta get out that comfort zone.
Hmm.
It's like it's shit I've been knowing I was supposed to be doing for like 10 years that I haven't been doing. So now it's like I'm ready to do it, cause I just seen how fast 10 years went.
This year went by quick,
Hell
let alone
yeah.
10 years. Like this year is, I think, like you said, time waits for nobody.
How does it feel to like be born at the end of '94?
I feel like at the end of the year sucks, period. Because bills, Christmas, like just, you really know you're an adult when you get older. Like bills, Christmas,
Yeah.
it's just like, damn.
You celebrate holidays?
Do I celebrate holidays? Yeah, I'm a mom. I celebrate Christmas. My son just told me that he don't believe in Santa, so I'm like,
Yeah, cause
I'm not gonna put Santa on the gifts
you
this
don't
year.
think you could just sit your son down and let him know like about the Matrix? Cause I don't like, cause mothers be feeling like they taken away from the parade, but if your son already don't believe it, you don't want to like just sit him down and give him some real knowledge about.
I think my son. One thing about my son, I feel like he's way before his age, right? But it's so funny because he was like, "Ma, you ain't get me nothing." Like, cause I had him go to the jewelry store and try on a bracelet, and he was like, "Ma, you didn't even get the bracelet." And I'm like, "No, Papa, this year was hard. Like, no, I ain't get nothing." He was like, "Okay, ma." But really, he just kept asking me. I'm like, Papa, I didn't get nothing. So the other day he came home and he sees some gifts under there. I was like, and he looked. I was like, you only got two gifts under there. The rest is for Gigi. The rest is for your aunts or whatever. But I think he knows because I was like, Papa. He said something about Santa. I said, you told me you don't believe in Santa. He's like, I know, but you could still put Santa like, cause I used to go all out. I used to put like reindeer stuff, snow, eat the cookie, write a letter, drink the milk, like. And I'm like, he doesn't. And my daughter's too young to believe it, but it's like, I feel like my growing up, my family always made sure, whether I believed or not, they still did it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, why rip somebody from something? Kids are kids, and I think that's the problem of my son. Know I hustle. He know I work hard. My son's very lovable. He be like, "Mom, you tired? I know you tired, Mom, but if you can you come to church? Or if you're tired, Mom, can you do this?" Like he knows and he recognized. He know I'm a hustler. He know I work hard. But in the same token, I feel like that's not. He didn't ask to be here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he know I work hard, but that's what I'm supposed to do because I chose to be a mother. So I feel like if he wants to, even if he don't believe in Santa, I'd get him Easter baskets and shit and say the Easter Bunny brung it. The Tooth Fairy still come for his ass, and he about to be 11. But I feel like when you become a parent, you'll see.
Oh,
It's hard to explain if you're not a
I
parent.
already got that shit made up. I probably think that's how the universe.
You gonna have a daughter. Watch, you're gonna have a daughter. For sons, maybe different, but daughter, you're gonna want to protect her.
Yeah, I'd be soft for a girl, but at the same time, it's like it's so much millions in imagination. If like, just imagine if you could just live a whole year without having to really celebrate holidays or just worry about. Or, cause you know how it is. This is how I feel like the Matrix is. It's your birthday, holidays, and then the people you love, death dates and birthdays. Feel me? And then after that, if you graduate from school or some shit, them the only other days you celebrate. So just imagine none of them shits being on the table to even ever think about. And you could really just be having time to think. Like the mind's so powerful. Yeah, imagination is powerful.
So you
Like,
don't think outside of holidays, right? Just life period. You don't feel like we should celebrate
yeah, but it's like it should be something like,
to celebrate.
yeah, like some real shit.
I see people
God
go out drinking. I used to be one of the people go out all the time drinking. I'm like, it had to look like, bitch, what are you celebrating? What are you doing? Like, you're out what are you doing? Like, I used
It's
to,
like,
nah.
that's how like even us as humans, like with a lot of shit, like some people do shit intentionally, but some people do shit because it's really just a habit now. Feel me? And you won't even know. It's just part of the everyday schedule. That's why I just say I take my ambition to my 30s because I know every day I wake up it's like you gotta do something. Ain't no just sitting around like.
That's
Even
true.
when I was a kid, I wasn't really ever no in the house ass nigga. Like, don't get me wrong. Some days I'm at my man's crib, niggas game freaking all day, but when you wake up, I gotta go outside. Like it's so much outside.
So you said walking in your like be it like doing something purposeful, like being purpose. So what do you feel like in your 30s that like you really want to do outside your podcast, like something that like you feel like is like truly being in your purpose? Like what do you as a man, a 30-year-old man with a podcast, things that you feel like you haven't accomplished, you're ambitious, what do you want to do?
I be thinking about try to say some hype shit just 'cause you asked me and we on YouTube right
No,
now.
seriously,
Nah,
like
I don't
just
know.
the
I be wanting to go back to school. I don't want to get a job, but I want to like get a job at the same time. I definitely want to just clear like my whole little dance floor up. I want to get my license. Cause it's like in
license and
life you
what?
could be driving license. Cause you could
I
be
should come over here and knock your ass out.
Cause you could be ignorant. Like you don't really need no license to go start up a car.
You don't. You're right. But I think it's like what comes with it. Like why get in all them problems when that shit's like 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get
Yeah.
it.
It's just like I want to just shake that ignorant mindset.
Oh, so you feel like
Cause
you're ignorant.
nah, I'm just stuck in my ways. Like right now we on keeping it a Buck50. So how I live life, it be a lot of Buck50 shit. Whatever I do in the moment, that's what I'm gonna do. Feel me? I be in my world, so I want to just tap into planet Earth. Feel me?
Okay.
Get out my
Well, that's
little comfort.
obtainable though. That's not nothing that's out of reach. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like that's not nothing that's so far fetched that you can't do it. Like, but it's also starting with routine too.
yeah. Even with my like, ain't nothing too far out of reach. But at the same time, that's why I want you to know when you start your podcast, you really gotta be on it because it's really hard to do shit. It's easy at the same time, but like you say, it's hard. Like,
Cause we could talk about it all day. I've been talking about it forever. But it's like when I think I'm in school 40 hours a week, I work damn near 50 hours a week. I got, my son basketball. I'd be like, but then it's like you got to make time. Cause there's somebody out there doing more than me. You know what I'm saying? And successful. Like, so I just have to make time.
and it's like you as good as your next episode. Like right now, me and you doing a fire episode. If this my last episode I'm ever gonna do, it's over for me. Like you gotta really be consistent. And it's like probably like my 50th episode. Feel me? And it's
So how
like
do you know what to talk about?
it's just be all freestyle. You get right here in the chair. I look you in your eye, and I ask you questions and shit, and then we just vibe. You was giving that convo back though, so you was making it easier for me
Yeah,
to
cause I was
just
like,
sit back, listen to you talk.
but I watched your podcast. Like in some conversations, it do be hard. You gotta ask people questions, and then it'll be like a little dead air, and then you gotta like, So I think it is also based on your guests too, like being intentional with who you have on and your guests and what you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm trying right now. I'm really on a goal to 1,000 subscribers. When I get my 1,000 subscribers, I feel like I want to start vlogging too, and then it's just like I'm gonna start being real, like not real picky, but somebody when you come on here, you gotta have something to talk about. You did good, and I want to start writing questions, but like I was,
I know my cousin was like, okay, so just write questions and like, and if you don't want to talk about it, just like, I'm like, I was like, no, because it wasn't last minute, so I knew I was coming on here, but it was just like I don't want it to be like sheltered because it's like that limits the conversation or limits where the conversation could really go.
yeah.
So yeah.
So aiming for 2024, like you want to share some of your little goals. Not, I take that back, little. Some of your
Big
big
goals.
goals that you.
I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna say goals, but I'm gonna say things that I'm going to achieve. Right now, I do. I have a background in PR and marketing. So I did a high, like I'm not even gonna say little, but I've did a huge range of work in Atlanta. With the pleasure of being around some of the most influential boss ass women in the game in Atlanta. From Theory to Indigo to Ray, like my sisters, like people that just like definitely like put me in position, you know. So I came back here and I've been doing stuff at Water Street. Shout out to RMG. Been doing stuff behind the scenes, like just getting stuff for shows ready, like just making like just being a go-to girl as far as getting shit done, for events. So I just kind of scaled back. But I'm moving back to Atlanta in the summer, thank God. I will be a nurse. I'm in nursing school. I graduate in a couple months. My podcast, and then I have a Fatherless Kids Foundation. So really making that a nonprofit in the new year is something because I really want to be able to, like, unfortunately, when people pass away, fathers, or they're in jail, I want to be able to have like emergency funds, kind of like the Boys and Girls Club, I guess, in a way, but have emergency funds for the kids and be able to provide whether it's around the holidays or school time or just being there, just being what I needed and my son needed at the time, and letting people know and educating people about social services as far as getting survival benefits. Kids that's father that passed away, you guys get survival benefits from the father monthly. Every year it goes up. You guys can get aid from social services, whether it's food stamps or Medicaid or in grieving counselor, like just not putting your kids in counseling. My son was in counseling for a while, and it wasn't the right type of counseling. I wasn't uneducated, so like just providing resources for parents and kids, and just doing things. I did things in the past, and it was all out of pocket or running down on people, like like dudes in the hood or like dudes I have relationships with that knew my baby dad, like just constantly, people from around the way that just knew my story and just always wanted to support because they loved my son or loved Juwan or had love for us. So they would like sponsor, and I'll do things for the kids, but now I want it to be legal. I want to be able to take it wherever I go, and part of like being on my podcast and eventually doing motivational speaking, just make it worldwide. Like I am definitely, going to right my wrongs in the new year, be a better woman, be a better mother, be a better friend, be a better girlfriend. No, I'm joking. Just be better. Like, like I know my ways, I know my wrongs. But I just want to, find what peace looks like for me, find what happiness looks like for me and my family, and just be a boss ass bitch.
Yeah, you got a big year coming up.
I do.
You want some
I
shit?
do.
Why you trying to leave the city though? Now that's good that you about to move.
I feel like I don't know. I just feel like when I went to Atlanta and I did the things I did and I met the people I've met, and like I said, women, a room full of women that just want to constantly see you win. Like it was never no, I'm gonna push you down to put you up to, like I feel like here, everybody wants to be the best. Like, it's like, okay, let's be the best together, or and that's can be wherever. But I feel like Rochester in particular, it's like they want to be better than, and everybody wants to be the celebrity of, like, I don't know why people want to be a celebrity. Like what I do, I want to be behind the scenes, get my shit done. I like to see things come together, like to be in the background and just watch it all play it out. That's like what I like to do. I like to be like more quiet in the background. And I feel like here it's a limit of things that I want to do. Like I can do things, and I'm thankful for the people that put me in a position to do the things I want to do. But I feel like only at a certain scale, because unfortunately, look at everything getting shut the fuck down. Like we can't, like it's hard for promoters or for venues to have shit for me to even be able to work how I want to work because everything's always getting shut down. So I feel like
that explains itself though. You try.
Yeah.
Really network.
And then we don't have like I feel like bigger cities, Atlanta, New York City, Charlotte, not even just Atlanta, they have panels, women empowerment, men empowerment. Like you don't see no group of men getting on a stage having conversations to revise, rebuild, evolve. We don't have that here. We don't have women doing that things, or like I'm doing this and I'm getting to an age where I don't want to do it no more, so I'm putting the people under me that has the interest in position. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's none of that. And I just don't understand why. But when I figure it out, I would be glad to come back and do the things. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was doing my event space and I had my event space, people would write me all the time and ask me how to do shit. And I would tell them, because it could be a million venues. Why can't everybody win? You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like I've definitely served my purpose here. I feel like I did what I wanted to do. I feel like I want to grow. Like I said, be the best version of myself. That starts wherever I'm at, so I'm going to work on before I move. Obviously, it's an ongoing journey. But yeah, just moving and just really like, people always be like, you need to be back here. Why not you here? Like, people will text me all the time, like, and just be like, come on. Like, I call her my sister. She just signed her first artist. And she's like, bro, I need you here. Like, I need you to do this, and that. Like, and it's so hard being here. but I can't even take on that responsibility doing the things that I'm doing and not focus. So, yeah, I do have a big year. I'm excited. What about you?
I definitely probably go write my plans down. I ain't really, I'll be on the low side with it.
No, this is Keep It a Buck. So,
Oh, yeah.
tell us what you about to do.
I really, I'm trying to, I never really was on travel. Like, I'm on travel a lot for 2024. Feel me? I got my passport, so I'm trying to go see the world.
I've been a couple places. Where do you want to go?
Africa.
I've never been there.
I really low key want to go to Japan. I gotta wait till my man's
I
come
want to go to
home.
Tokyo. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Tokyo. I just followed this girl on Instagram, and it feel like she was I think she was in Tokyo, and I feel like she was there for 3 weeks. Like, I don't know if she was just posting, but that shit looked crazy. They were sucking helium instead of hookah. They were like doing It was crazy, but it was just like the experience. Like, it looked beautiful. But yeah,
Definitely want to do a lot of traveling. I want to stay consistent. I've been doing this shit for a year, and I feel like I could have went way harder. But the beauty of it is that I stay consistent. But I really want to get on my podcast. I want to turn my YouTube page up all the way.
did you ever think about doing like the podcast as far as like getting on Apple Music and things like that?
Yeah, I think my shit all on Apple Music and all.
Oh,
that.
really? I had to look.
That's a fact. But yeah, like if you could, it's like one of the outing questions. If you could talk to the 16-year-old Jahara right now with this knowledge, what would you tell her?
Um, don't be in a rush to grow up. Don't be in a rush. Um, Sex hurts. Don't be in a relationship don't be in a rush to grow up. Um, Love yourself. Love yourself. I feel like a lot of mistakes come in life because we don't love ourselves. So love yourself. Know your worth. So know your worth. Love yourself. Sex hurts. And stop being in a rush.
When you say sex hurt, what you mean by sex hurt?
Because I always used to, when they tell you that, like, sex hurts, don't do it. And you always want to go see some shit for yourself. Like, it's not, like, it's not a thing. Like, it does hurt. Like, I'll tell my daughter, like, I'm going to scare her ass. It hurts. Don't do it. No, it's nasty. Don't do it. Like, I just wish I would have listened to, like, I love my kids, but I wish I would have waited. Life wouldn't have to be as difficult if I would have did shit the right way. And I don't know what the right way is, but I could have waited. Like, I had my son my senior year, but I also do feel like I had them at important times in my life. I had my son when I needed love. I had my daughter when I needed peace. And yeah.
I definitely really appreciate you for coming on my podcast. Made my day today. I ain't know you was gonna come up here talking that shit.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You gotta return the favor though, so.
Yeah, I definitely.
And I'm gonna have some
can't
questions for
wait.
your ass too.
I
So
can't wait
you.
to come on your show. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, tap in, keeping it a Buck 50.